What's going on today, YouTube? Today we are going to be doing a mock draft of the 2021 draft. This is post 49ers, Eagles, Miami Dolphins three-way trade. It wasn't really a three-way trade, but the Dolphins traded down and then back up. So obviously, first overall is going to be Trevor Lawrence. I think that's a lock. There's no way that Urban Meyer and the Jaguars organization can screw this pick up. I mean, Zach Wilson is not a bad option, but when you have a generational quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, you just can simply not pick anyone else. There's no other choice. You go Trevor Lawrence, that's it. There's no other choice. Now, in this mock draft, and what I believe is going to happen is I believe that the Jets are done with Sam Darnold. I know Corey Davis just recently came out and said that he came to New York because he thought Sam Darnold was going to be the starting quarterback, but I believe Sam Darnold and the Jets organization just need a fresh start. They both need to go their separate ways. Sam Darnold needs to revitalize his career somewhere else, and the Jets need a new quarterback. Robert Saleh, or however you say his last name, just need their own guy. So in my situation, or in my opinion, it's Zach Wilson. And if Robert Saleh, or Saleh, however you say his last name, views Justin Fields as the second overall quarterback, then take him. But it's Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, in my opinion. I don't think Justin Fields is even close or on the level of Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. I know there's not a lot of tape on Trey Lance. He only started one full year, but I think Trey Lance has the arm talent of that is through the roof. So okay, now here's where the draft really starts for me, I think. And with the 49ers trading up, I don't even really think it starts here. I think it starts at pick number 4 unless another team trades up with the Falcons. But here, I think it's got to be Trey Lance. I don't see a way it's Justin Fields. Daniel Jeremiah came out and said with the timing of the trade up with Justin Fields' pro day not have happened yet, and Trey Lance's pro day had already happened, it just makes sense that it's Trey Lance. But another thing that makes sense to me is when Kyle Shanahan led a quarterback and an offense to a Super Bowl and an MVP, respectively, Matt Ryan to an MVP and the Atlanta Falcons to a Super Bowl. It's when he had a strong-armed quarterback who was not mainly focused on moving, and that's not Justin Fields at all. Justin Fields is a run first. He's a discount Lamar Jackson with a better arm, I think. That's in my opinion. I think Justin Fields is a discount Lamar Jackson with his legs with a stronger arm. So Trey Lance this is the order of QBs for me: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. I think those are the top 3. Justin Fields is easily number 4, and then Mac Jones, is the clear number 5. And something I got to say about Mac Jones is how bad do you got to feel about coming out in this draft class? Because there is so much controversy on who the quarterbacks are ranked in this class. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is number 1. Nobody argues that. Trevor Lawrence is the clear-cut number 1. I think there's a very wide margin there. But then, some people have Trey Lance as the second quarterback. Some people have Zach Wilson, like I do. Some people have Justin Fields. But Mac Jones is always the 5th quarterback. He's never 4th on anyone's board or anything like that. And there's a lot of speculation that the 49ers traded up for Mac Jones, which I believe has no real value to it. I don't think if the 49ers thought Mac Jones was their guy, they would have stuck at 12. They wouldn't have traded up. You don't need to trade up into the top 3 of an NFL draft to get the 5th quarterback. Excuse me. Like I said, and on everyone's board, Mac Jones is the 5th overall quarterback. He's not 2 on some boards. He's not 3 on some boards. He's not 1 on the crazy conspiracy theorist boards. So, alrighty. Now that I'm off on my little tangent, sorry, I gotta drink some pink lemonade. My voice is going a little bit nuts. I believe that this pick has got to be a quarterback as well. I think the Falcons, they restructured not Mac Jones. I got all confused on Mac Jones. They restructured Matt Ryan's contract. They can cut him next year with a $20 million cap hit, but they also saved $20 million. So I believe it's got to be a quarterback. Matt Ryan's in his age 37 year, in his age 37 season, I think is what he's in. I think it's got to be a quarterback, and I think it has to be Justin Fields. I think you get stuck with Justin Fields now that the 49ers traded up to number 3. If you're lucky enough and the 49ers end up taking Justin Fields, or even the Jets take Justin Fields because they believe he's the second overall or the second rated quarterback in this class, then the 49ers take Zach Wilson, because if Zach Wilson's there at 3, 49ers take him. If the Jets pass on him, and either they could take Penei Sewell or some Colin Coward has Kyle Pitts going to the Jets, which is absolutely insane, or even Jamar Chase, which I don't see that happening whatsoever. But the Jets take anything but Zach Wilson. 49ers taking Zach Wilson. No way around it. And then if you end up getting Trey Lance, I think that's a very fine consolation prize because you get the fourth rated quarterback, in my opinion, on this board. There's a rumor going around that Penei Sewell is the blah, 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 blah. I'm so sorry that I am getting tongue-tied. There's a rumor going around that the Bengals are the only team that are considering Penei Sewell at 5 because of some character concerns and stuff like that, and that's exactly who the Bengals are taking. Penei Sewell has the raw talent to be one of the best tackles in the NFL. You just got to get him with someone who can coach him up and get him to want to be there. And I think the Bengals, while they're not the best team in the draft or the NFL, considering they're at pick number 5, they have a lot of future ahead, or a very bright future ahead of them. I was going to say a lot of potential for the future, but then I said future. So Dolphins at number 6. I still think they go Jamar Chase. I don't think there's any way around that. I think you get the best pass catcher. I don't think Will Fuller changes that at all. I think you still need a guy who can get open and just be an overall amazing wide receiver than Will Fuller, and someone who can stay on the field. And that's what you're taking with Jamar Chase, while Will Fuller has clearly not done that. My favorite NFL team, the Detroit Lions, I think it's got to be Jalen Waddle. If the Bengals, I don't think they're going to take a receiver, but if they do end up taking a receiver and it's Jamar Chase and then the Dolphins take Jalen Waddle or whatever, if Jalen Waddle is on the board at number 7, you take him. Especially with losing Kenny Golladay, Danny Amendola, Marvin Jones, pretty much all of our wide receivers, and only getting Tyrell Williams and, oh my God, Brashad Perriman as a consolation prize for your new quarterback coming in, and Jared Goff, whether you view him in the future as a future or not, you need to get talent around the quarterback, whoever it may be. You got DeAndre Swift, a good back. You got Jamal Williams, you signed to a 2-year deal from the Green Bay Packers. You got to get weapons around. You got T.J. Hawkinson, even I think he's a top 5 tight end in the NFL right now, but that could be some bias in there. I think if Kyle Pitts is there at 8, and say the Lions or the Dolphins don't trade down, or not, the Dolphins won't trade down again. They traded back up. I was thinking of it before the trade of what I was going to do. If the Bengals maybe even could take Kyle Pitts, but I think if Kyle Pitts is there at 8, you give Teddy Bridgewater another year. You go, if you need a quarterback next year and Teddy Bridgewater isn't it, then you gave him weapons. If you take Kyle Pitts, you got Kyle Pitts, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Christian McCaffrey. You got a decent O-line. Teddy Bridgewater is set up to be successful in that system. Now, before the Caleb Farley back injury, I think Caleb Farley was a lock, even with Kyle Fuller and everyone going there. Not everyone. Kyle Fuller on a 1-year, Ronald Darby on a 3-year. You brought back Kareem Jackson. I think Caleb probably was a lock there still, but I think if you have to go with Patrick Surtain, I think it's between Patrick Surtain and J.C. Horn. For me personally, I think it's J.C. Horn. I think Vic Fangio values the potential of J.C. Horn over the day one starter and Patrick Surtain. This is Patrick Surtain all through and through for the Dallas Cowboys if he's there at number 10. And even if not, one of these two, J.C. Horn or Patrick Surtain, is going to be there at 10. You just take whichever one's there because you need help on the boundary, because Trayvon Diggs got toasted and roasted in his rookie year. Granted, he's a rookie. He's got to cover almost wide receiver ones on a week-to-week basis because they have no one else. And they re-signed Jordan Lewis, who's more of a nickel guy. But now the New York Giants, I don't see them taking a wide receiver unless if Jalen Waddle or Jamar Chase, that's how outlandish this would be for the Giants. If the only way for them to take a receiver now with them getting Kenny Golladay is if Jalen Waddle or Jamar Chase in the unreal world that he falls that far is there. I don't think Devontae Smith is what they want. So I think This is a hard one. This is not. I don't. I mean, What do they take here? I don't know. I don't know. Micah Parsons, but with his character concerns and him, the report coming out that he doesn't really love football, do they do that? I'm not sure. Maybe it is Devontae Smith. I don't know though. I don't think it's Devontae Smith if he's there. If the top two wide receivers aren't there, I'm gonna give him Rashawn Slater. They took Andrew Thomas top four last year, but I still think that they could start him at left tackle, even if you want to bump Andrew Thomas to right tackle. You got Will Hernandez left guard, so and Rashawn Slater is the best day one tackle in the draft. So I think if he's there, you take him. This is Devontae Smith. I don't think there's any other choice really for the Eagles here at 12. I think you moved back hoping you could get a guy that you had on that was very highly rated on your board. The top two corners are off the board. Top two receivers are off the board. You should just feel lucky to get the consolation prize of getting Devontae Smith. And then this pick is obviously Christian Darrisaw. I don't think there's any other choice. Elijah Vera Tucker could be in there maybe, but I think it's definitely offensive lineman to protect their new franchise guy in stud Justin Herbster. I think this is a very easy trade down spot for the Minnesota Vikings, but in case it's not, I think Elijah Vera Tucker makes a lot of sense to the Vikings. They just lost, or not just lost, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember when Riley Reef left, but they still need help on that offensive line. Kirk Cousins looked like he was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I think this is where Mac Jones actually goes, is to 15. I think if Mac Jones is there at 15, I think the Patriots make an uncharacteristic move and take a quarterback in the first round. Okay, so here's where a lot of people that I see have Caleb Farley stopping his drop, which he's rumored before his injury. He was rumored to go in this area, 9, 10, 11, this kind of area. Before the 49ers traded up, they were here. So like this area, other than the Giants, I think he could have even gone to the Giants still if he was there. But I think this is where his draft day drop because of injury concerns stops with the Arizona Cardinals. So I think with all of the offensive line moves that sorry, I have a lisp. Let me talk about this. In case you guys didn't know, I have a lisp. Now, most videos that I do, I concentrate on not allowing it to impede my speech. That's why sometimes I lose my train of thought because I'm focusing on not and so if I start stuttering and I pause for a second, just deal with it, please, or just bear through it with me. I didn't mean to say deal with it. I didn't mean for that to come off so douchey, I guess would be the word. Anyway, so Las Vegas Raiders. I think with all of the offensive line moves that Mike Mayock and John Gruden have been making, I think this is obviously a tackle, and Tevin Jenkins makes the most sense. You already got a left tackle in Cole Miller. They didn't trade him. They didn't release him or whatever. Tevin Jenkins come in and be a day one right tackle, and I think that's a perfect fit. I think the Dolphins at 18. What do I do here? We already addressed wide receiver and Jamar Chase. I think it's Najee Harris. I'm going to say Najee Harris. Mike Parsons could be a very easy decision here for Brian Flores if they want to take that route. At this point in the draft at pick 18, you can take the risk on the fact that Mike Parsons is one of the best athletes in this draft. I mean as the linebacker. I don't mean as a running back or wide receiver compared to those guys or anything. I mean as a linebacker, he's one of the best athletes in this draft. He just ran a 4.3 something at his pro day for a 40. He's a killer, but I just don't think. I think they take the for sure starting running back that they can in this draft to help take the pressure off of Tua to see if they can actually use Tua, because in my opinion, Tua is not the guy. Tua does not have the arm to be a professional quarterback. And I'm saying that as a guy who's sitting at a desk talking into a microphone, but Tua showed last year that he does not have the arm talent to push the ball down the field, and I think that's what you need in today's NFL. Look at the recent quarterbacks who have come onto the scene. Justin Herbert can push the ball down the field. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, even Lamar Jackson can throw that ball. Baker Mayfield, when he's on one of his days, he can push that ball down the field. You got to be able to throw the ball far, and that's a very oversimplification of what actually happens. But you need to be able to throw the ball far, and Tua just does not have the arm strength to do it. But getting Najee Harris allows you to kind of lessen the load that Tua needs to use that arm. So now I think this is a very dark horse pick, but I think this is if the Raiders could take him, but with the offensive line that they're about to put on the field this year, if they don't make any moves, it's going to be horrendous. So I think they go offensive line, no doubt. But if the case they do go Micah Parsons, or the Dolphins go Micah Parsons, then obviously this pick couldn't happen. But I think if Micah Parsons makes it this far, I think the Washington football team take him. I think Ron Rivera licks his chops and says, I could do so much with this football player. Because he's not a specific edge type, and he's not a specific cover guy, and he's not a specific run stopper. He's a jack of all trades, but has no trades. You know what I mean? He's not perfect at everything, but he's not good at one thing. I think I said that right. Maybe jack of trades is what it is. But he's not amazing at any one thing. He's good at a lot of things. So with the Bears, with no real quarterback being here in the first round, I think you got to take offensive line. And I think that is going to be... Nope, not this. Here's what I'm trying to go. Landon Dickerson could be in play here. Wyatt Davis could be in play here. Who are the tackles that are still up? Sam Cosmi. Got to go Sam Cosmi. They need help on the offensive line. They brought in Andy Dalton, which is a choice, to say the least, and that's all I'm going to say about that. For the Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Costanzo's recent retiring and Carson Wentz's trade makes his choice pretty easy. I think it's going to be an offensive tackle. Just plug and play him right there. Protect Carson Wentz's blindside, it would be blindside. The Tennessee Titans. This is not what I meant to do. I meant to go to all. Who did the Tennessee Titans take? I think it's got to be an edge. I can't remember. The Titans play in a 3-4, don't they? Ooh. Jalen Phillips. Does he fit that? It's late. I can't remember which one of these guys is a. I think it's Kwity Paye. I think Kwity Paye plays in a 3-4. We're gonna go Kwity Paye. He's on some boards as the number one edge in the draft. I think Gregory Rousseau has the potential to be the number one edge in the draft, but Jalen Phillips is the day one starter at edge, I think. But I could be wrong with Kwity Paye being a 3-4, and I think the Titans are in a 3-4. This is gonna be Greg Newsome. I don't think you take a running back. I don't think you take a running back. I think you get a boundary corner, and I think Greg Newsome could be the day one starter at boundary corner for the Jets. I seriously think that's how bad their cornerback room is. He could be the day one CB1 for the Jets. Here at 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers have to take an offensive lineman. I'm not sure if it's interior and outerior. I'm going to give him interior right here with Creed Humphrey. The best interior lineman, in my opinion. Now, with the Jags only having taken Trevor Lawrence, they have a lot of flexibility, I guess you could say, to go here. And I'm gonna go Christian Barmore, my D tackle 1 in the draft. I think he's the best interior defensive tackle in this entire draft. There's not much more to say about that. They need interior defensive line help. The Browns, I think, they need edge help, and I think you take where's my man at? Gregory Rousseau. They have Myles Garrett. So okay. Bear with me for a second. I need to rephrase the entire sentence that I was about to say. Myles Garrett is already there. You bring in a guy like Gregory Rousseau who has the potential to be great. He just needs to be coached up. He needs to work on his moves. He needs to become an actual edge rusher and what's the word? He's got the raw talent that he just needs to mold into an elite pass rusher, and I think Myles Garrett could help him do that. He just needs to make sure he doesn't show him how to slam a helmet down. Anyway, so let's go to the Baltimore Ravens. I think that this is an edge player, and I think Azeez Ojulari. Is that how you say that? Ojulari? Azeez Ojulari, I think is the correct pronunciation. See, I almost slipped up on the stutter there, but I think this is Eric Stokes. Let me find him right there. They need cornerback help. Marshawn Lattimore just got arrested in Cleveland. I think it was in Cleveland. I don't think there's much details released about the entire situation, but he got arrested, and arrests are not good on an NFL player's record. It's probably even worse than smoking weed at this point now. With, I don't think did the NFL stop suspensions for smoking weed? I'm not sure. I don't remember. At pick 29, I think the Green Bay Packers should select a wide receiver. It should be a wide receiver or a cornerback. They don't have anyone outside of Jair Alexander. Kevin King is garbage. You could see that from the NFC Championship game where Tom Brady made him his pocket holder. Or a wide receiver. They don't have anything outside of Devontae Adams. I think they brought in a second wide receiver in free agency. I can't remember. I don't really follow the Packers because I absolutely hate the Packers. And so I think Rashad Bateman or Kadarius Toney could be in play here. There's not really a corner. Aaron Robinson is still on the board. Let's see what corners are still on the board. Aaron Robinson, Asante Samuel is still on the board. Kelvin Joseph, I don't think I've heard much about him. Sean Wade, Paulson Adebo. But I think it's a wide receiver. And it's just, who do you value more, Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman, to pair with Devontae Adams? I'm gonna go Rashad Bateman. I haven't watched much of Rashad Bateman at Minnesota. From what I hear and what other, mock drafts and stuff have going on, he's a more of a physical vertical threat, and Kadarius Toney is more of a slot guy, and it's just who the Packers value more, and I think it's Rashad Bateman over Kadarius Toney, unless another wide receiver comes in and just blows the day up. But I think at this point, or it could be Rondale Moore. I think Tutu Atwell, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we got to get off that pick. I'm spending way too much time thinking about the team I most hate. Buffalo Bills. CB edge wide receiver. I'm not sure. We already saw, where is he? Najee Harris go off the board at 18. I think if Najee Harris is there at 30, I think the Bills should very highly, strongly consider pairing him with Devin Singletary. But in this case, he's off the board, and I think Travis Etienne is not a bad choice. I don't think he's a bad choice. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is still on the board. I don't think that would happen. I don't think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is on the board at pick 31. But, you never know what happens. This draft class is loaded, and some guys have to fall. You know what I mean? Some guys have to fall, and that's just a part of it's the way of the road, brother. Now, I think this has to be an offensive tackle with the releases of Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher. It's just who's going to be that guy. Who do they value more? I think it's going to be Dylan Radunz. Jalen Mayfield is not a bad option either, or Alex Leatherwood really, or Brady Christensen. But I think Dylan Radunz. It's just who they value more. At this point, it's who the team values more, because there's not a clear difference. Like when you get up to the beginning of the draft, like there's a clear difference between Rashawn Slater and Christian Darrisaw. You know what I mean? But back at pick 31, there's not a real. It's just who you value more, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally cut the string on Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah's draft day fall. I think that's where it ends with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They don't really need him, but at the same time, who do they need? They brought back literally everybody from there. They brought the whole band back from the Super Bowl run. So, I mean, I don't think they lost a single person. They brought back Leonard Fournette just a couple days ago. They franchise tagged Chris Godwin. I don't think they got a deal done. They got a deal done with Shaq Barrett, Levante David. Ndamukong Suh, I think, is coming back on a 1-year deal. Who else am I missing? Anybody? I don't think so. Tom Brady re-signed or got an extension for another year. So that's just amazing. But I think that's going to be my mock draft 1.0 for the 2021 NFL draft. If you guys like the mock draft videos, make sure to let me know down in the comment section below by hitting that like button. Also, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, just hit the subscribe button. There's no harm, no foul. If you get annoyed at me later, you can just unsubscribe. And news on the webcam. I ordered a brand new webcam. If you guys can't see it, look at right here. GoPro Support Hub. I ordered a GoPro Hero 9 because I want to use it for vlogging and everyday stuff now with some of the stuff that's going on in my life, and use it for a face cam. And it's an amazing camera. If GoPro, if somehow you see this video and you want to, hit me up with a sponsorship, I'll run all your equipment. There won't be a piece of GoPro equipment that I don't have. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and peace.